Yo, what's up everybody? This video is a garden update. So this here, voila, is the garden that I did this year. It is September 13th and it's probably getting to about upper 40s at night here. So we are nearing the end of the season. This is not technically my land, it is a friend's land. And he used to have mules here. I can give you the full 360 tour. Yep, we are in central Washington. Cascade Mountains in the distance. I can even focus on the skyline. See if I can give you some extra. Oh yeah, oh, a little sunset over the mountains. Oh yeah. Alright, bring it back. So he used to have mules here, and it was all grass, pasture. He seeded himself, and there's a little spring, artisanal spring that comes up, and there's some cattails back there. So he doesn't have mules in it anymore, and last time he had them was a few years ago. So he offered that I could come and garden this year, and so it was all grass in the spring, and got an electric tiller and tilled it up. It did not remove a bunch of grass. I was weeding out grass for several weeks, but then I had this like big full-fledged plan. I was about to just shoot out of a cannon and do like a food forest, and I was like, can I put in fruit trees, nut trees, and all these berry bushes and things, and didn't even have like an idea of how long I'd be gardening here for, but was just a little bit too excited. So I took some perennial cuttings and tried to transplant things, and then was like scouring online trying to see if I could buy different things. But long story short, I did not put perennials here, and it was just an experimental annual garden. So got as many seeds as I could gather for free. Bought a few of the corn online, but everything else is pretty much stuff I got for free from different community resources and stuff that I'd saved from previous gardens over the years. And then you can see around the edges I did a cardboard layer with free wood chips from arborists nearby. But yeah, I'll give you all a little tour. It's a very lazy gardening. Lots of weeds, grasses, certain things have moved on that were previously harvested, and then I just let them go fallow. And that's why weeds, grasses, mallow, and other things are in there right now. So not at its prettiest form, but there's still plenty of bugs and food coming out of here. So I'll give you a little plant by plant tour. Also, the last thing I'll say is the only amendments that were made to the soil it's a very vocal bird. Bluebird? Mockingjay? Wow. Alright, so, well, I was gonna say before I was brutally interrupted by the bird, is that, the soil just came as it is and Bro, what is up? What's up? Well, maybe he's eating the sunflowers. Maybe. Anyhow, the only things that were added to the soil, other than what was previously here, was a compost tea mixture that I watered twice. And it was, I got a pillowcase full, I got some nettles from the artisanal spring area there, I got a bunch of different grasses, different weeds, and dandelion greens, and some like leaf mold from up in the forest that's nearby, back up there. And then just like, put it, compost tea tub, and then drained it, gravity fed down to the garden twice. That's all I had. So, pretty fertile ground as it was, but I'll take you on a tour now. Alright, so, the beginning of the tour. This used to be all potatoes. 3 different rows of potatoes I got from a grocery store. Cut them up into pieces where there were about 2 eyes on each of them. Let them kind of crisp over in my room, and then brought them out and harvested, and got about 8 potatoes per seed potato, basically. So it's a pretty good harvest. And then here is one variety of corn. This is a popping corn, so specifically supposed to go dry and then harvest the kernels and use them for popcorn. Some I got from Snake River Seed Company. And you can see in here kind of a little example of what things currently look like. Dangerous. Dangerous. Oh. We got a little bit. We got a little bit of kernel action. Can you focus on that there, buddy? Yep. A little bit of kernel action. A little bit. We're going to close that puppy up. Let it keep going. It's starting to get dry, but this was kind of a learning experience. I think you're supposed to not plant that dense. Then here's zucchini, and there's been about 2 months worth of zucchini coming out of here, giving it all around to the community. Again, another zucchini plant here. In the center here, I had watermelons. I don't see any in here currently. They kind of got slashed by a weed whacker accidentally. Oh, here's some actually. So here's a couple. This one got slashed previously. And this little baby, you know, getting close to harvest time. You harvest when those tendrils start to dry up, and that one's getting pretty close. Show that. And then you got zucchini. And then here is a different kind. This is the Hopi Blue dry corn. So it's dry farmed corn, native seed to the southwest. And kind of experimenting again. I've gotten some big heads on that. And we'll see how it does. Gotta wait till the end of the season, but it's not looking super hot. So it's an experiment. They said plant it 4 square feet per, or like 4 foot between, and I didn't do that, so maybe it's not enough room, who knows. And then here's Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth, which I'll be collecting the seed of to plant more of, and then also perhaps to eat, but it's pretty minimal as far as like edible quantity. Here's some big old sunflowers. And then continue this way, and down here there were a bunch of peas and a little trellis I made from elderberry branches. Those have been harvested and taken out. This is a little remnants of what would have been, or was I guess, and got seeds from that already, pea seeds. And same story in here. There was spinach in here, and that already got harvested. Kind of a tough part of the video if you ask me. And then here's the kale that is looking like a big old mess of things. Some purple kale, some green kale. And then this is the little flower section. So I got a collection of various different seeds and just mixed everything together. And it looks like cosmos and dill. And there was a variety of other things through different seasons that have popped up. I believe there's some like ground cherry. This, ooh, I don't even want to guess what this is. I have a feeling what it is, but I will not say. But it's some pretty potent looking stuff right now. Interesting. So I've been harvesting the seeds of these to use later on. Pretty easy. Just pull that dried seed head off there. And there's tons of seeds. Whoop, not even in the camera. There we go. Focus on the hand. Boom. Okay. And here's dill. Going to seed. Collecting some of that. And here's these tomatillos. Are they tomatillos? I think so. What's inside of you? Oh yeah, look at that. Looking good. Hold off on that for a little sec. And yeah, this is a pretty dense thing, but honestly it's one of my favorite parts of the garden, because it's all dense flowers and it's buzzing with bees and different insects. Right now it's about 7 o'clock and way less insect flying around here. And then this row was kind of a later planting. There were other things in here like carrots and onions and a few other things. And then so after I harvested those, sometime like June or something, I then put in a little 2 sisters, I guess. So it's just, what do you call that kind of squash? Delicata squash, yes. And then sweet corn. So a little combination action there. It looks pretty good. And I'll show you, we got some delicata coming in there, looking pretty good. Next few weeks should be able to harvest that. Here was some purple lettuce that is now going towards seed and since flowering phase, end of flower. And these puppies, hopefully they can get a little bit bigger before we get that frost, but we shall see. And then over here you got more dill going to seed, some more delicata. Here's the zinnias, big old flower patch, good cut flowers. They produce more and more, and they just keep on dividing. And yeah, there's some beautiful little things. And then, ooh, there's a little seed head ready to be saved seed from. And this is all mustard. So this is the mustard fiasco of 2023. I was planting a ton of mustard, as you can see. For some reason, I ended up accidentally throwing tons of mustard seed down. And the mustard leaves are very spicy. Nobody really wanted it. and I'm not a big fan of spice, but it's cool to have the seeds. You can use the seeds for baking into pickling mixtures and whatnot. That's not even in focus, whatever. And then yeah, I got another video in here about how to harvest that in larger quantities. And then over here is a mixture of different things. This was a mix that was given to me very nicely, and it's got some crimson clover, you've got some calendula in there, there's mustard, I believe. Here's a cool calendula seed. Come on, focus there, Bobby. Focus. Focus, focus, yes. So you take that sucker. It's not fully dry yet, it seems like. And these all curly things are the cool little seeds. Already been saving some of those, but I will come back today for those. And then, yeah, it's kind of a dense mixture. Little meadowy polyculture of sorts. So that's sweet. That's the same story over here, but this one's got poppies as well. Tons of little red poppies. I've been harvesting the pods. Some of the bigger ones, bigger pods I already took, but look at these cute little things. I mean, come on. It even wants to focus. There it goes. Will I get seed from it? Oh, that's a bad attempt. Will I get seed? Oh gosh, throwing this tripod thingy. I will not get seed from it. This is too challenging with the camera in hand. Back over here, standard lettuce action. We got some dill going on there. It's going to seed, aka coriander. And there we go. It's got like a white look to it now, which is interesting to me, but still tastes good. These ones are a little bit more brown. Maybe it's because they're being watered still. And as far as the watering situation goes, I have 2 of these overhead oscillating sprayers on a timer. They each go for about 25 minutes each at about 9 p.m. And here is more dill and lots of strawberries. Strawberries do a lot better the second year after you transplant them. And these were gifted by someone who was moving, so they produce a fair amount, but not a ton. And then back here is more mustard. And then also here is some arugula that's flowering, like a late flowering. And interesting, because already these guys went, and it might have been like a re-sprout, which is kind of fascinating, midway through the season. And then here's the only perennial that I have currently, and that is the red currant. Produced about a handful of currants this year. That was also a transplant, and I'll be transplanting that to a new location this year. So then there's a lone carrot. We will harvest this on camera. A little wiggle wiggle. Shimmy shimmy. Oh, can he get it with one hand? No, he can't. Oh jeez, he's about to fall over. With the hand, does he get it? Oh yes, look at that thing. Not too bad, not too bad. And yeah, more lettuce, more kale getting eaten by bugs. So yeah, that's about it there, folks. That is a garden that is tended to about every 3 days that I drive a few miles to access. And in all, I'll turn this around so I can do a very formal addressing of the microphone and the screen. Alright, here's a formal finish to the video. In all, this has been an abundant garden full of flowers and zucchini, a mild amount of strawberries, lots of mustard seeds specifically, corn to be determined on the quality and the quantity, potatoes in a very enjoyable harvesting process, first time I've ever grown those, and many pounds of potatoes, and beans and peas both in abundance, and lots of insect life. 3 tomato plants that produced, I didn't even show you those, but whatevs. I'll show you too quickly as we finish this video. So yeah, it was kind of very much a learning experience, and that's what I got out of it. And I got food, and I got to share it with people around town and trade for different things. Here's the tomato plants. Pretty exciting. So that's about that on the video. Yeah. Big takeaways, big questions, anybody? Nobody? It's a video. It's tough for people to ask questions and respond live. Oh, you could go live. But, yeah, overall pretty enjoyable experience. I will say it's a lot easier to grow a garden in the space where you currently live, so you can walk out and harvest readily, and to be able to monitor things. And overall, I've learned my focus and desire is to do food forest garden type of growing, where you're like agroforestry type of system, where your tree crops are your main things, and then you're underplanting with different perennials for the long term and short-term annuals. So this is basically a very low successional plan or type of garden, and this is not something I would do long term. But with that being said, it was pretty productive and plenty of weeds, but I don't really mind the weeds, but some people do. So just be careful when you pick a place to garden. Know if it's on someone else's land, what their expectations are for the land, so you can both get your needs met. But overall, great experience, cool video. Well, on your own high horse there, you know, if you ask me. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll cut it there. Enough talking. Have a good day, night, morning, wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Quick side note before I go. The neighbor has a grape arbor action. Big old grapes over here. I'm just going to show you how delicious and succulent these grapes look. Just going to have a few.